What's up everybody, and welcome to round 5 of the RaceDepartment F1 League. We are here at Catalunya and I qualified on the front row again. It was a dry qualifying and there was no rain expected for the race. But interestingly, the game put some intermediate tires on my car for the start, and I was really surprised. I thought it was some kind of bug because the sky was blue and there was no rain expected for the race. So I decided to put on the tires I qualified on, the option tires. But as I saw the track here, I could see that it was glossy and it was wet, and everybody around me were on intermediate tires. And as the lights are out, you can see I'm just having a terrible start. And you can see TNG Platinum trying to avoid me there and going over the grass a bit. I'm not sure why he crashed out to the other side of the track there. On my screen it didn't look like I hit him, but there was little I could do about that. I had no traction at all, and again here losing the rear as I'm trying to put the power down, but the track is obviously much too wet still for the dry compound, as I'm just falling back to P6 here and trying to tiptoe my way around the track. I'm just hoping that the track will dry out very soon. You can see the sun is shining and drying out the track slowly, and on the start of lap 2 here you can see my teammate is right on the back of me. I'm still running wide, I'm still having trouble finding the grip on these tires, and the conditions are still very tricky, but I try to keep to the inside line here on the rundown to turn 4 with my teammate, and I'm just trying slowly and carefully to stay on my own lane as he is doing the same, but he's still having a little bit more confidence in the car and on his intermediate tires. But you can see parts of the track here where it's slowly drying out, and I was actually getting more and more confidence in the car, and soon my tires should be the better choice, as my teammate is running very wide here at the blind right-hander, and I'm taking advantage of him going into the gravel a bit and taking that place back here into the hairpin. As you can see, I'm able to put the power down earlier and better and better as the track is slowly drying out, and on the start of lap 3 I'm going purple, and you can definitely see the difference in pace between these guys in front that put on the inters, as Tadger just loses his rear there and spins off. Lucky to avoid him there and pick up another place in the process. As we skip a bit further into the lap here, you can see all the guys that started on the intermediate tires are now making their stop, and they are switching to the dry tire. Except for me and Bessa, who chose to start on the slicks. So we are moving up into the lead now. We made up a lot of ground on them, as I'm doing a 131 where these guys on inters were doing 136s and 135 on the inters. So we definitely made up a lot of ground on lap 3 here. And the extra pit stop time is just going to drop them back a lot, as I'm now up to second place behind Bessa here, about 1.8 seconds behind him. I'm trying to catch up with him and get into the DRS zone, as So Solid is about 8 seconds behind us. And skipping ahead now to the end of lap 4 here, and you can see I've catched up a little bit with Bessa here, putting in the fastest lap of the race so far with a 127.7, and only 8 tenths behind Bessa, the Toro Rosso driver, just here in front of me.
Nice driving, that was the fastest lap of the race.
I'm slowly catching up with him and just trying to get that DRS in order to make a move. And it's looking good for me at the moment. Almost getting the DRS on the Toro Rosso driver and going to try and take the lead from him. And So Solid is about 9 seconds behind us as we skip ahead to the end of lap 5, where I'm still right on the back of Bessa here, about a second behind him, and I'm probably going to get the DRS this lap or not. As we come around the final corner here, pushing really hard here, trying to get a good exit onto the straight, and opening my DRS, using some curves in the process, and just going to try and make a move for the lead. As the Toro Rosso driver lags a bit there, worried a bit about that, but I was already committed to the pass here into turn 1 on his inside and taking the lead here of the Spanish Grand Prix, and I'm setting the fastest lap of the race. But Red Tabor meanwhile behind us is finding some pace as well, as he's doing a 1:26.6, almost a full second quicker than my fastest lap so far. And these guys behind us are trying to catch up with us as they are pushing hard. We skip ahead to the end of lap 6 here. Bessa dropped back a little bit, he's not really able to keep up with me, and as you can see on the minimap, he just falls back a lot. The Toro Rosso driver must have made a mistake there at the tricky chicane, and that's going to demote him to 3rd place, probably behind his teammate. And I'm meanwhile setting a personal best lap of a 1:27 dead. Still trying to stay consistent and keep this lead here for Ferrari. As Greek Don't Lie sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:26, and almost a full second quicker than me still. So I'm not really having bad pace here, but these guys obviously finding some extra tenths here and there, and they are slowly catching up as we skip ahead to the start of lap 9 here. I'm still in the 1:27s and running in mix 3 here, but the gap is down to about 5 seconds now to So Solid, and Greek Don't Lie meanwhile has overtaken Bessa for 3rd place. He is running about 2 seconds behind So Solid. And as we skip ahead to the end of lap 12, you can see So Solid is only 6 tenths behind me now. He's right on the back of me, and I'm scheduled to make my pit stop this lap, so I'm just able to manage and keep the lead before heading into the pits and heading for my first pit stop. I'm going for another set of options. Let's see how the Ferrari crew will get those tires off and on again. 2.9 seconds, a really quick pit stop to get me out again. And I'm coming out in P4 probably, but it's going to be close. As you can see on the minimap, Bessa is coming right up there. I'm on the inside here out of the pit lane, and he's on the outside. We're going side by side for a bit through turn 2, but can I keep the place? I just managed to keep the inside here into turn 3, but he's still right on the back of me. So I have to take a bit of a defensive line into turn 4 here. But I just managed to keep Bessa behind me, and that is crucial for some clear road ahead of me. Meanwhile, his teammate has made a stop and responding to my stop actually, and coming out just ahead of me. I'm going to have to push really hard now to try and get into the DRS zone, but he's obviously going to try and not let that happen. As we come up to the sector 1 split, it's only 1.4 seconds, so I just need about a half a second to gain on him, as he is still on cold tires in order to get into the DRS window of So Solid. As we skip ahead to the end of the lap, you can see So Solid is just a bit too far ahead there. 1.7 seconds now the gap, and he's really pushing hard there. And I'm setting a personal best lap there, but So Solid just manages to keep me behind and out of the DRS window, and that is crucial for him to keep that second place, as Red Tabor has moved into the lead of this race now, and Greek Don't Lie is only a few seconds behind me.
The car behind is on the harder tyre, so he's meant to be slower. We're going to need you to build a gap if you can.
The gap is 3 seconds to the Williams driver, and it's looking to be a battle between the 4 of us for the win here. As we skip ahead to the end of lap 16 here, with Red Tabor in the pits, and the Williams team is receiving him for some new fresh tires, and that is promoting me to second place with Greek Don't Lie behind me about 5 seconds down the road, and So Solid now in the lead of this race. So Red Tabor is actually on a different strategy than us, And skipping ahead to the end of lap 19, where you can see So Solid is opening a little gap here. He's about 5 seconds up the road, and Greek Don't Lie is about 5 seconds behind me.
Losing a small amount of time to the car behind. Keep pushing.
And meanwhile, TNG Platinum has moved up into 4th place, only 7 seconds behind Greek Don't Lie at the moment. As we skip ahead to the end of lap 25, where I'm scheduled to make my second pit stop, but I'm seeing the McLaren driver of Tadger. So I was thinking, okay, Greek Don't Lie, he catched up with me and he's actually into my DRS zone already. If I just can get into the DRS zone of Tadger here, I can use the DRS in order to defend my position from Greek Don't Lie. But then the McLaren driver loses his rear there, and just before the DRS activation zone he is off into the wall there, and that means I won't get the DRS this lap, but Greek Don't Lie will have the DRS on me, so I'm going to have to defend hard into turn 1 here. He's going around the outside with a lot more top speed here, and I'm just trying to keep the place here, going side by side through turns 1 and 2, and I have the inside for turn 3, and that allows me to keep him behind for now, but he's still right on the back of me. I'm going to have to defend the inside line here into turn 4 and just be able to keep him behind, and it will be a little bit easier for the rest of the lap as there's not a lot of room to overtake. I thought it was crucial to keep Greek Don't Lie behind me there as we skip ahead to the end of the lap, where he's still right on the back of me. But I'm probably going to change my tires now and get some fresh rubber in, as these tires are coming off a little bit as I'm making my way to the pit lane, and hopefully my Ferrari team has some fresh primes ready. I want to make a bit of a longer stint before going for my final pit stop. And skipping ahead now to the end of lap 29, where I'm about 6 seconds behind Red Tabor. But on the minimap you can see the Williams driver is a bit in trouble, probably had a little off there at the twisty kink of turn 11, and I'm right on the back of him now, going to try and get the DRS here, or almost passing him here, but no room there, so I just have to be patient and slot in behind him and wait for the DRS activation, as we are just passing here on the straight, and I'm just going to take the inside as he's not defending the position, and carrying a lot more speed into turn 1 here, and just managing to make it stick for 3rd place, and taking that place back from Red Tabor, and hopefully I can pull away from him, or is he going to be able to stay with me and follow my pace, as I'm about 7 seconds behind So Solid. I just have to try and be consistent and not lose too much time to the front runners. But as you can see, Red Tabor is coming back at me. He's into the DRS zone here and taking that place back with DRS around the outside, and he made that stick, so it's going to be looking like a long battle ahead of us. Again, just like in Malaysia and in China, if you saw those races from me, you could see there we had some great battles going on there, a pretty long battle in both of them races. Now I'm just going to try and wait for the right time and just trying to stay with him, but this time I'm actually not getting the DRS. So I have to push a little bit harder this lap to just close him down, and I did as we skip ahead to the end of the lap, and I'm back into the DRS zone, getting the DRS this lap, and as he runs wide a little bit there and gets some gravel on his tires, that's definitely going to compromise his exit. And again on the inside here with the 8 of DRS and an easy pass into turn 1 really, and the battle continues. Meanwhile it's Greek Don't Lie who's pulling away a little bit from the rest of us in 1st place, and So Solid is trying to chase him down in 2nd place, about 5 seconds ahead of the two of us, so we're not losing that much time, as we're just allowing each other a lot of room. But on the end of lap 36 here, I'm just outbraking myself completely and going off there at the turn 10 hairpin. Not sure what happened there, but got some marbles on my tires now, and that's going to cause me to lose a bit of grip into the final section of the lap. But skipping ahead now to the end of lap 39, I'm still be able to keep up with Red Tabor here. I'm just going to try and stay close with him, hugging the inside line here through turn 12. And trying to apply some pressure to the Williams driver as we go through the final chicane here. He's running a bit wide, going very slow through that chicane, and as I'm trying to get on the inside of him here through the final corner and onto the straight we go. Getting the DRS here, and I will surely be able to pass him on the inside again. And actually it's just side by side into the braking zone, but just getting the pass done. And this battle is going on from lap 29, I think it was, till now, so it's a pretty long battle, but we are not losing that much time to the front runners. I think it's about 7 seconds now behind So Solid, and as we skip to the end of lap 40, you can see Red Tabor going into the pits there to make his stop, and it actually puts an end to our little battle we had, as So Solid meanwhile puts in the fastest lap of the race with 1:24.4, again almost a full second quicker than me at this stage of the race. So I felt a little bit outpaced by these front runners, as we get another moment of danger here, going off just before the DRS activation zone on lap 45, and I was again going to try and get the DRS from him, but not going to happen again, it seems. Skipping ahead now to the end of lap 51, and the gap to So Solid is about 5 seconds now. I was actually catching up a little bit with him at the end of the stint, and I'm now scheduled to make my final stop of the race at the end of this lap, and going to try and get some quick laps in on the option tires, as Greek Online meanwhile sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:23.3. Really good pace there from the Williams driver as we are approaching the closing stages of the race, and my team puts on some fresh options for me in about 3 seconds time. But coming out of the pits, you can see a lot of smoke there coming out of my car, and I'm checking the telemetry to see what's going on, and it's actually showing red on my engine. So I'm probably overheating the engine a bit, and as we come to the end of lap 55 here, I'm right on the back of my teammate, and he's having the same problem, and a lot of smoke coming out of his car as well. We've seen this before with my teammate in China, I believe it was, and we are not sure why this is happening. We are not noticing any loss of performance, as he just moves out of the way for me to lap him there. Skipping to the end of lap 57, where I'm trying to catch up with So Solid, who is about 6 seconds up the road, but I just outbrake myself and lock up the brakes going into the turn 10 hairpin, and it was the only corner I was struggling with, to be honest. I was being pretty consistent all race long, but as we skip to the end of lap 60 here, I'm only 3.7 seconds behind So Solid, despite that little off I had there a few laps earlier. So I'm really catching up with him, and I'm thinking of putting the fuel mix up to mix 3 for a few laps, as I'm doing now, and trying to get into the DRS zone and maybe save some fuel when I'm in his slipstream. But I still have to make up some seconds here, and the gap is now down to 2.5 seconds on lap 63. The gap is going down, but it's going down very slowly, and I have to manage my fuel as I'm checking it now, and I'm minus 1 lap down on fuel. So if I continue like this, I'm surely going to run out of fuel, and I have to hold back and put it down into mix 2 at least. And that allows So Solid to maintain his second place, really, if he keeps it together. So skipping ahead to the end of the race here, it's the final lap where Greek Don't Lie takes his 4th consecutive victory And with me in third place, just a little bit behind So Solid here. It's only 3.2 seconds. I'm probably just going to have to accept the last step of the podium, and I will definitely accept that place, as it will be my first podium of the season. Finally, I've been waiting for it a long time now, and it's really nice to be so competitive at a track I'm usually not that strong at, and it looks very promising for the rest of the season. And these are the full race results, with Greek Don't Lie taking pole position and the win, about 36 seconds ahead of So Solid, followed by myself in third place. Red Table with the fastest lap of the race in P4. Then comes Bessa, Kex and Tedger, 5 laps behind as he was really struggling with his car. And TNG Platinum with another non-finish in P8. As we have come to an end of this round, I want to thank you for watching and see you in Monaco.